Hello and welcome to a brand new series and a brand new thing for me. I've been wanting to do a Let's Play series for an incredibly long time, but I just never got around to finding the time for it. And now that I'm actually graduating college and won't have the obligations of homework or big projects, I will hopefully have the time to do this more often. What I originally wanted to do was really focus on just one genre, and roguelikes are something that have been a part of my life for a very long time, and I don't even, probably before I could even speak, full sentences properly. But roguelikes have been a part of my life for such a long time, and so I think that what I'm going to do is this entire series of everything that I do is going to be just roguelikes. Hopefully I'll, be able to have a lot of content. I have a large collection of roguelikes, and there's thousands and thousands and thousands of them out there available, so I'll be exploring as much as I can, as often as I can. And I think that this is going to be just this series will just be just roguelikes, nothing else, and roguelikes and roguelites. So I mean, I probably will be doing some FTL, faster than light, on here as well, other games like that. But for this first episode of Losing is Fun, I am going to be playing Quest of Dungeons. This is it's a roguelike in the traditional sense. It's very simple as far as its implementation, so you only get your character, you've got a dungeon that has rooms and paths that lead to them. It's not something as in-depth as Tales of Majayal, where you've got overworld, underworld, you've got caves and cavern systems, or anything like that. This is all just, get from the first level all the way down to the bottom and complete a task and then get all the way back up. So, very true to the original Rogue, but it is very pretty, and I really like the art style, and you'll actually go ahead and see this once I get started. So, I'm just going to quickly show you some of my stats here. I've played it quite a few times and failed and died, but that's okay, because remember, losing is fun. That's going to be a very common theme with this series, and I'm not going to let go of that. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new game. I have played all 4 classes, and I think that my favorite is the assassin. I've had the best luck with the assassin, and I enjoy any kind of archery based class, and so I'm going to go ahead and play as an assassin, and we will go ahead and start this. And there is a very brief story element to this, whatever you'd expect from a traditional roguelike. So we will go ahead and start this. In the land of Verul, a powerful and evil lord stole all the light, trapping it inside a magical lantern. Darkness spread quickly and ruthlessly. 4 heroes joined forces. You should go alone. What? Good idea. How is that a good idea? Divide and conquer. You have a bow. You totally have a bow. Not sure about this. We will stay here. Yes. Okay. Everyone's so mean to this guy. He is so dead. Totally. Anyways, it's a dark night, with just a gentle breeze in the air. You finally reach the ruins of the old Umfar mansion. But who knows what secrets and horrors lie inside? And will you survive? Most likely not. That's never guaranteed with a roguelike. Alright, let's go ahead and continue this. So as you can see, As I mentioned before, I really love the art style. I think it's really pretty. It's very basic, but it's pretty. It's definitely a step up from majority of the ASCII stuff that you'd get from traditional roguelikes. Alright, so one thing you don't want to do is touch that skull. You will die, because I think you're supposed to get to the very bottom, complete your main thing, and then come back to the top. So we will go ahead and explore. There's nothing in this room. So one of the cool things that I actually really like about this is you start to get a little bit of a quest system in here. There are little quest stones that you can pick up, little things. Usually it's like find this object or kill this monster. And a merchant. Okay, we don't need a merchant right now since I don't really have much gold or anything to sell. So yeah, you sometimes will get little quests, and they are very... There's only two types of quests. It's either get this thing or kill that thing. But it works for all intents and purposes, and I'm kind of in a bad situation here. But I will say that I'm very happy with the equipment and weapons that are in this game. If you have played something like NetHack or one of the other more traditional roguelikes, you don't really get many weapons or equipment drops that often. But in this game, you get a lot of drops from chests and things like that, but the merchant has a ton of stuff, and it does get they restock their supplies every once in a while, so it is good to visit them whenever you can, just to make sure that they have something that you can use. Oops. Great. Okay, at least he was easy. Ooh, is that ale? Okay, well, since I'm playing an assassin, I don't need the mana, so I will sell that, and I will sell these stones. So that's one thing that this game also has, is a ton of random items that you'll be able to pick up that aren't necessarily usable. They're just there to sell, so it's just a way of getting money, which is perfectly fine. I wish there was a little bit more use for them, because like in a game like Dungeons of Dreadmore, you have a pretty robust crafting system, and I'm about to die. You have a pretty robust crafting system, and it can be very helpful, especially when you're able to craft your own weapons or potions. You don't have to rely on finding them or having the money to buy them. But in this game, anything that you pick up is, if it's not a consumable, or if it's not weapons or equipment, then it's pretty much just there for selling. There are some keys, like, oh, just what dropped. Yeah, so you can pick up these keys, and they'll be useful to open doors and chests that are locked, and you'll be able to see what type of keys you need if you look on the map. Right now there's no door that needs a key, but you'll be able to see which keys you need. Let's see what's in here. Okay, that one's nice, so we're going to equip that. And the bow is definitely better, so we'll equip that one as well. And then the rest of that stuff we can sell whenever we get a chance. And there was some more weapons. Ooh. Yeah. I always like stronger weapons. And we don't have any kind of a helmet, so we will equip that as well. So one thing that is weird is that the helmet's kind of on the bottom. I wish that it was on top, just to be more significant to wherever its position is, but it's a minor complaint. It doesn't detract from the gameplay. which is what's important. Okay. Now there's some stairs down, but I'm going to actually explore the entire level before I get to level 2, because you definitely don't want to be underprepared, or just, you know, unprepared in general. You want to make sure you have the equipment, the levels, the abilities to survive each subsequent level. And sometimes that means just buying your way to that, and that just means kill lots of things, get lots of gold, buy lots of things from the merchant. And generally there is one merchant per floor. So far I have never encountered a situation where there was... Okay, yeah, here is the thing that I was mentioning about the key. So I need a red key, which I don't have. I only have this gem key, so I cannot access that area, but there is a way here and down there. But yeah, as far as the merchants, I don't think I've ever run into a situation where there was not a merchant on a floor. There seems to be always exactly one merchant on every floor. So at least you're guaranteed the ability to buy and sell, so you can always make sure that your inventory is either not over full or is not stocked improperly. I'm also pretty fond of the music in this game. It is rather enjoyable. Oops. So one thing that another complaint that I have with this game is that, unlike other traditional roguelikes, if you are in movement and an enemy comes into your field of view, it does not automatically stop you. And this is pretty common with more traditional roguelikes, but this game does not seem to have that. So for sometimes when I click, if I misclick and hit a tile next to an enemy, especially with a ranged character like this, if I misclick, then he will just continue to keep walking until he hits that point, and it can get pretty annoying, because then that just means that you will be right next to the enemy, and that's not always the best situation to be in when you're a ranged class. It would be okay if you were playing a warrior or something like that, which is the warrior is the only non-ranged class in this game, which I mean it's fine. The classes are pretty basic, but it's nowhere near as robust or as complex. So you have some simplicity, but you sacrifice depth. But I still think it's a very fun roguelike. I've been enjoying this too. I didn't want that rotten cheese. Just drop that. And I picked up a skill book. Pierce skin. Let's go ahead, and I'm actually going to... I know a lot of the abilities for this class, and that is not one that I necessarily want, but it is worth 1,500 gold, so I will actually sell that, and then possibly find some better gear or a better weapon instead of that skill. Okay, I think essentially that skill, so you've got your main attack, and then you also have, and you can see those down here on the bottom right. You have your primary attack, and you have a special ability attack, and you can access all of your learned skills from here, and then you can scroll through them, or you can select them from this book. Okay, well, I think I'm going to stop here for episode 1, and when we get back, it will be episode 2.